Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Frank the Tank, and welcome to a rather special video. Um, Throughout the year, and I guess you could say just recently, I've been asked if I was ever going to do League or if I'm ever going to do some videos of League or something like that. Well, I guess you could say to answer that question, League, I will be doing that, but League for me doesn't start until late January 2022, but I will be doing that, so that answers that question. But for this video, I'm going to be showing you my experience at one of the tournaments that I participated in. As you can see by the title of the video, it says 8 Gamer, and it's pretty straightforward what this tournament is. It's 8 games on 8 different pairs of lanes. Little small fun tournament that I did. It's held by one of my good friends, Mike Romero. He hosts these things. He does them every now and then at these lanes that I bowl at. Really fun to do. So thanks, Mike. And yeah, I figured it would be like I had doubts about it at first, but then I thought, you know what? It's just a tournament, like it's not a big deal, and it would also be like a great way for me to get my foot in the door with this whole thing about getting tournament experience and all that, and knowing what it's like to compete in that kind of environment with a bunch of bowlers who are obviously like either on my level or way above my level. Yeah, it was a great way for me to see how I can handle being in such an environment. Yeah, as you could see by that bottom half of the video where it shows you how much time is in the video, yeah, this is pretty big. It goes well over an hour, and there's actually a lot more footage. And as you can see, it says part one. I decided to break this video down into 2 parts because this video is insanely lengthy. I think it goes well over 2 hours, and I really didn't want to go through all that. So I figured, it'd be best to just break this down and show you the first 4 games in part one, and then these the last 4 games in part two. Yeah, I guess not wanting to waste any more time, I guess let's get started. Okay, here we go, everybody. The start of an 8 gamer tournament. My first ever experience in an 8 gamer tournament. This is going to be interesting. I guess I'll put you up to date on what went on here. Okay, not very many people, unfortunately, showed up. Usually there's about, I would want to say maybe about 40 plus people that participated in this tournament, but unfortunately only 20 showed up. I don't know what the reasons were. Everybody was just making guesses at this point, but yeah, unfortunately it was only 20, and because of that, not very many pairs of lanes were used. I think we only went up to about 14 at max, and then of course because of the low amount of people, obviously there weren't very many people sharing pairs of lanes. As you could see by the scoreboard, there was only 3 per pair. Yeah, really, it made it kind of easier because the more people, the more like kind of pressure you start to feel, I guess. But yeah, I got paired with 2 people that I have seen. I have never bowled against them, but I have seen them in leagues that I've been in like my local lanes. Yeah, this girl who just went up, her name is Ebony Coronado. I don't know too much about her. All I know is that I think she's like in her like either late 20s or early 30s. She's quite decent. I don't know what she averages, but if I had to guess, I'd say she probably averages between 190 and 200. I asked her if she ever had a perfect game to her name, and she does not in league, not in practice. And then Max, he doesn't really talk much, but that's okay. I mean, when you're here to bowl, you're here to bowl. You're not really here to talk and to make friends. But anyway, yeah. This kid, he's actually the youngest one on our pair. He was like, I think he's like 21, at least at the time of this video. I don't know when his birthday is, but yeah, he's 21. So yeah, here I am at age 26. Makes me feel old, but yeah, I guess now would be a good time to show you guys the arsenals here. Yeah, Ebony, she packed quite heavy like myself. Well, not insanely heavy, but yeah, she packed a 6-ball arsenal. Including, of course, the spare, and then as you can see there, she packed IQ Tornado Pearl, Pro Motion, and Axiom Pearl. I believe she might have packed a UC2. I swear I saw her throwing that during practice or something. I don't know, but yeah, that's what she packed. And then, of course, with me, I packed a spare ball, a hustle wrap, a pitch black, nuclear cell, and a flux. Um, and then, of course, Max here, he packed the lightest, only using a phase 3 throughout the entire thing, and he picked up the pitch black once. And you're going to see when. I think he does pick it up in this part, but in this part of the video, at least, I think. I don't know exactly when, actually, but anyway. Yeah, here we go into frame 2, and yeah, I mean, started off somewhat okay, I guess. Me and Ebony both with the 7 spare and then a strike, and then Max obviously starting off really slow, and yeah, I mean, Ebony bowling the traditional one-handed way, while me and Max were making the two-handed style. So, and did I forget to mention, you guys may want to grab your drinks and your snacks and stuff, because let me tell you something, we've got a long way to go here. So, in practice, I forgot to mention this, they gave us 10 minutes of practice before this thing started, and I picked up the phase 2, and I felt like that was the good the ball to start with. I had a phase 2 packed. I forgot to mention that it was in the arsenal there. I had a phase 2 with a very weak layout, a 75 by 5 by 45. That allows me to be on like board at 19 or 18. So it allows me to be on that right side of the lane, and the ball doesn't flare like crazy. It kind of holds a little bit. And I tried that at first, and it wasn't really giving me, as bowlers would say, the look. And so I tried. I wanted to try that one out because obviously the phase 2 is an amazing ball, and I felt like I did. The key here was not to start too far to the left, and this ball with that layout I felt was perfect. But the ball would sometimes hook, sometimes it wouldn't. I mean, I wasn't able to repeat with it in practice, so I knew what to do with the hustle wrap if I needed to pick it up, and then the pitch black, obviously, that when that would have to come into play. So I felt like the nuclear cell, I knew not to pick it up based on what happened in the last tournament I was in. I knew that's probably for the later games when the lanes start to get a little toasted, and I need something to get back, but like if I'm very far left. So I figured, you know what, like the flux at the last tournament, it's same 8-gamer, same place. I picked up the flux, and for the first 5 games, and I was able to average an astonishing 225 until, the lane started to dry up and I made a ball change and I paid the price. And what was my 225 average ended up becoming like a 206. So I really messed up. And that's why I opted for this 5-ball arsenal and put my spare. Let's see, the spare ball, and then pitch black, just in case the lanes do get dried up and I don't want to be too far left. That's when the pitch black or the hustle wrap would come in. And then, of course, a phase 2, a ball that would sit right in the middle of all that with the weak layout, of course. And then, of course, the 2 higher end balls, the nuclear cell and the flux, but obviously the flux would be the one to start off with because it's got a solid cover on it, and then the nuclear cell would be for much later when the lanes do get even toastier. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I tried the phase 2, it didn't work, so I'm like, I'll pick up the flux, and I knew what was going to happen. And of course, I was like, oh yeah, looks like we got to start with the flux. So that's what I started off with. I don't know what Ebony started with. And then of course, Max, we all know what he has on him right now, seeing as he packed the lightest. He was rolling with that phase 3. And look at this pathetic attempt right here. Horrible. I let the ball hang up on my middle finger too long, and you could see I kind of like let it, I gave it some airtime, and I ended up missing what was. I don't say that the 3, 6, 9, 10 is an easy spare to make. I mean, throwing a spare ball at it obviously is not an option because you got to cover that back pin, and I tried and I choked real bad, so I lost my chance to stay clean here. And and I believe that's a promotion that she's picking up. And I forgot to mention, yeah, that's how she plays right there. Pretty, you know, direct to the pocket like Liz Johnson would, I guess. Very low on the revs. I guess that's a stroker style right there with that release. Serious axis tilt on that, which I guess in a way is kind of an advantage. I mean, the more you increase your axis tilt, from what I hear, the more pin action you're going to get. And she kind of got it with that strike. You could see they all kind of slowly fell in. And then you could see the difference in power and revolutions between Max and I. And I'm kind of a little embarrassed of myself because obviously, you know, he being on the younger side, he has, you could clearly see his rev rate and speed is incredible in comparison to mine. Yeah, mine is pretty average, I guess, and an ugly split right there. Yeah, mine, I'm willing to bet he goes well over 400 something revs. Me only having just below 400. Of course, my average rev rate, you know, obviously looked into what my rev rate is. I'd set up a camera down below and watch the amount of rotations from the moment I let it go all the way to when it hits the pins, and I always am in the 390s. So that's how I came to that conclusion. And check this out right here. I decided to go for it and picked it up. That's right. I figured, you know what? It's only the 5th frame. It's only game 1. Why not? And I figured, okay, just usually I leave the 3, 6, 7, 10 a lot. And it's become like routine for me. I know exactly the path to take. I know where to stand when I want to make that spare. And I figured, okay, just do what you usually do when you're trying to make the 3, 6, 7, 10 or something like that. And yeah, stood in the same spot, went a little bit to the dry. Oh yeah, and she kind of sort of left the same thing. Yeah, I set the ball up not to go fairly direct. You could see I kind of sent it at a kind of an angle, to where it would get to the dry, at the middle part of the lane, so it would come back just enough and just, you know, send the 3 flying into the. I don't know what that was that I left. I think it was the 4 and the 7 this time. So yeah, I just told myself, all right, do what you would normally do if you're making the 3, 6, 7, 10, and it worked. And then back on the strike train, but I paid very close attention to that. I was like, okay, I saw that 4, the ball went high. I think I should move because I know that the shot was somewhat good. So yeah, both these. Let's see. Hold on. What is? Oh yeah, he's still using the phase 2. So both of them, Max and Ebony, I don't know. I guess they were playing it safe here. You'll see that they hook at their spares a lot, which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, better to be safe than sorry later. I went for my spare ball when it comes to picking up all my single pin spares. They hooked at them a lot, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing to, it's not like it's a rule you have to pick up your spare ball. I don't do that. You guys see that a lot, obviously. I remember way back, I would get grilled a lot for picking up my spare ball, for picking up the head pin or the 5 pin. And, you know, I would just say, I've been questioned a lot about it, and I would always say, well, when I was learning the ball, no one ever came up to me to tell me, well, no, that's an unusual thing to leave, the 1 or the 5, okay? And because usually what I would do is I would look up what people would do in videos, and obviously the 1 and the 5 pin is something that people hardly ever leave, so I would never knew how to pick that up. And then I just did my own thing, and no one ever came up to me and told me this is how you should pick up your 1 pin and your 5 pin, so that's why I just took my spare ball and I went straight at it. One thing that I will say that got a little confusing is that we all had the same spare ball. Literally, we all brought the clear polyelectric blue. It was hilarious. So I kept having to look around wait, which one's mine? The only way to know was just looking at the color of the grips and the size of the grips. I was the only one with the clear grips in my clear polyelectric blue spare ball, and also the size of them. My fingers were really small in comparison to them. Yeah, Max clearly locked in after starting slow with the 4-bagger now. Hambo. So yeah, I had to think I had to think a lot about what I was going to do with this video. I thought, like, I could cut it down and make it shorter, but, you know, that's no fun. I figured this is the kind of thing that you guys need to see, like, all the way through, like, uncut, unedited. And there goes an Axiom Pearl right there. Didn't really work as she left the 2-8. But, yeah, I felt like, yeah, this, you know, yeah, you guys needed to see this uncut and unedited. It'd be better that way. And, you know, to make it a little, like, a little more interesting, I figured why not, you know, put in the work and add the scores of the people on my pair as well, just so you could see how they did and what they had, and so on and so forth. It took a lot of work to put in, but you know what? Totally worth it. So yeah, didn't make any ball changes, didn't make any adjustments. Everything looked like it was going good. That one still looked like it went a little high, but I didn't notice it at that point. I felt like it was okay, so I stuck with it. I will say, well, like when you're in this kind of like competitive type of environment, the pressure really kicks in, and I give credit to a lot of those who like bowl these things on a regular basis. Like this had me nervous. I'm not gonna lie, because I have done League, obviously, and League can have good bowlers and bad bowlers, you know, like beginner bowlers and stuff like that. And, you know, these kinds of tournament things, it's just nothing but good bowlers. And I felt like there was a lot of pressure on me to really perform because, you know, like, I don't want to look bad, you know, in front of them, even though they don't care how good you bowl or whatever. They only worry about themselves and their scores and all that. But, you know, like... I remember the last tournament I was in. I think it was quite a number of people. It was well over 40 people, and it had to be like 4 or 5 people to every pair. And on my pair, everybody was just strike, 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 and hardly like any missing. And I'm like, Jesus, I really gotta like keep up with these people. This is crazy. You know, like the pressure was really on to keep striking, but luckily I held it together. Until, you know, like, but for the first 5 games, I managed, like I said, I managed to average 225, but when the lane started to break down, that's where I really wasn't prepared. And, you know, it makes sense because, you know, I'm always practicing on one lane, and not only that, I've never, you know, been in a situation where I am practicing with a bunch of people, you know, throwing their bowling balls down the lane, you know, a lot of traffic, so... I learned my lesson with that, and that's why I told myself, like, with this one, I wasn't, you know, I felt like I walked into this one a lot better prepared, and then the fact that there wasn't a lot of people at this small tournament kind of made it, you know, made it feel like, okay, well, now the pressure really isn't as high as it was the last time, but... I don't know, did any of you notice in that 9th frame that we all went Brooklyn and we all struck? How about that? Oh, and need I mention, yeah, the pattern wasn't like a sports pattern. Sorry to bum you out on that. Yes, once again, we're on the house shot. Like, it's at this point where you gotta ask, like, when the heck am I gonna get on a sports shot or something? I had the chance, but unfortunately I was too busy to participate in the tournament that was gonna have a different pattern other than this. So I guess that'll have to wait. So yeah, unfortunately the camera stopped recording and I didn't notice it, so it missed, I think, my first shot in the 10th. But, the good thing is that I didn't miss any more. So there you go, Ebony finishing out her first game with a 192. Not bad for game 1. I mean, even though, like, I hate that, you know, like how even though you have 10 minutes of practice, it still feels like game 1 is like your warm-up, you know what I mean? Technically, the practice should be your warm-up. That's Yeah, I managed to start off pretty strong. Uh, 9 pin unfortunately robbed me of what could have been a even higher game, but 227 to start, you got to say, not bad. Meanwhile, Max, uh, man, he went off on the main stage after going slow in those first 3 frames there. So he's got the back 7. Kid is good. Kid is real good. Yeah, I can't remember what he maxes out at here. Oh, that's a bad shot. You could tell the way he just got up on it immediately. You could tell. Yeah, look at that. 3, 6, 9, 10. You see that right there? Now, you see what I mean? That is why you hook at the 3, 6, 9, 10. Don't ever throw your spare ball at it. Because you got to cover that 9 pin. But anyway, here we go. Beginning game number 2 now. Ebony starting off with a strike. And me continuing to roll with the flux. No ball change yet. Yeah, at this point I kept in mind, like, the lanes aren't toasted yet. Obviously there's not a lot of people. It's only game 2. I figured this lane would still be pretty fresh. And after seeing that, I'm like, okay, I can get a good game here. But I still needed to know what that right lane was like. So yeah, all of us starting off hot with the strike. Dang. That's a tough line to play. I give credit to the strokers who play lines like that because the window to miss is very, very narrow. You gotta be direct. You practically gotta be perfect. Anybody who thinks it's easy, it's not. Oh, there's that 9 pin again. I think that's got to be like the second time that I've been met with the 9 pin in this one. God, look at that rev rate. That's incredible. So yeah, I think when I saw that 9 pin, I thought to myself, okay, the ball is entering the pocket with too much angle, and I'm just, right by the 9. So I thought maybe I should make like an adjustment and move just a board left. But the thing with me was like, I was still kind of unsure because, I felt like, what if I do move that one board left? Will it help, or will it have the ball entering the pocket kind of like with the live hit, and then I'll leave like a 10 or something? I was kind of unsure. I didn't really know what I was going to do. There she goes, sticking with the Axiom Pearl. Nice, 3 in a row. That one I sent a little too far right, but luckily it came back. And that's what I love about the flux. You see, it it gives me like a bit of like quite a bit of it gives me that miss room. You can see like I don't remember what I got in the last time I shot on this left lane, but you could see obviously I went way too far right of the target, but it still got its way back, and I struck. Meanwhile, Max here goes 4 through the middle. Don't know if that was smart picking up his spare ball. Now he loses count big time. So yeah, you could see Ebony here was basically not sticking to one ball, but she finally is, because she is striking, and there's your ham bone. So any of you out there who are going to like league or whatever, or planning to do one of these, take advantage of your practice, that 10-minute practice or 5-minute practice or however much time they give you before the game starts. Take advantage of that. Don't just use it to just warm up. Use it to test out like bowling balls and see how they, how these things roll on the lanes, because you don't want to be sacrificing frames, like when the game starts. You don't want to be sacrificing frames. You don't want to do that. You never want to give frames away. Take advantage of your practice sessions. See what works, see what doesn't. It also helps if you know your equipment very well and you know what it's going to do. That's kind of what I did. Like I said, I picked up a Phase 2. It was kind of working and it kind of wasn't, and like, you don't want that. You want the ball to work 100%. None of that kind of, no. But because I know my equipment so well and how it's going to react on those lanes, and because I know it's house shot and I know what's going to happen, I knew like what every other ball was probably going to do. So that's why I'm like, okay, let's just go to the flux again. And unfortunately, I missed an easy, what is that, the 4-pin? That's embarrassing. You don't want to do that. Practice your spares, people. Ah, 4-pin. Went high. Oh, did you guys see that on lane 13? That guy almost got the 2-8-10 there. Ooh, light hit. Got away with that one. I never noticed that. Shoot. How am I just noticing this now? That guy almost made that 2-8-10. So yeah, if you're not confident in your spare shooting abilities, even if you've practiced them a lot, then just hook at your spares. There's no shame in that. Sometimes you just gotta go against your gut and just play it safe. Because I will admit, I do that quite a lot, where even though it's clear, like, even if I know, like, I'm not confident in my ability to shoot at a spare, like a 10-pin or 4-pin, whatever, I still pick up my spare ball, even if I know, like, I'm not confident enough to pick it up. I'd still pick it up and try it, and like, I would miss, and I then beat myself up about it later. Like, you should have just hooked at it. Why are you... Play it safe. Don't be an idiot, Sometimes I always think like that, like where like I have to pick up my spare ball to pick up this spare. Like no, if you feel you can't do it, then pick up your strike ball. Play it safe. Oh, skinny jeans. Good form, good shot. Man, what a strike. That was powerful. So one big problem that I had in the last tournament that I played in was that I kept falling off on my shots. My form was terrible. It was nothing like what you guys see in my videos. It was just awful, and I was really getting mad at myself for that. 'Cause I don't know what happened. It's almost like I never played before, and that happens to me a lot. And the reason I believe that that happens is because I suffer from a bad case of the nerves. You know, I like people watching me. You know, like being in that competitive environment is totally a totally different feel than when you are in practice. And yeah, I told myself for this one, like, stay focused. Like, whatever you learn in practice, you gotta apply it somehow to this. You know, like play your game. Don't worry about anything. And oh, nice lucky hit there, take out that nine. But yeah, I told myself like, you've gotta like, you know, don't let any of this get to you. Just play your game. Remember what you learned in practice. Definitely do not let it get to your head because, you know, try not to get as nervous. And while I was out there on this day, I felt like my form was still pretty terrible. But looking back at it, I found that, hey, it's a whole hell of a lot better than the last event I was in. She really gets into this stuff, doesn't she? You could see that, like, right in that moment before the ball hits the pins. Going into the 8th frame, Mac's already down in the low 200s. Good pickup of the 10 pin, nice. Nothing's more nerve-wracking than picking up a 10 pin in a competition or in league, right? I know I missed quite a few of those in the last tournament I was in. I miss them all a lot in league too. See that there? See what I mean? Falling off on a lot of the shots. And I think, like, I remember thinking that like, at that very, like, moment that I was thinking maybe it was, like, the floor was probably kind of dry, but you know, let's be honest, that's a bunch of BS. I think the reason that I fell off on my shot was because of my timing. It was awful. And I know this because of my footwork and my swing. They're not necessarily, like, 100% well timed together. They're like, it's just not in sync. That's why recently I've been, like, working on, like, my footwork a lot and making it fit together with my swing because this may sound a little weird, but, like, I put a lot of distance in my steps when I'm taking my steps, and especially the skip step. I put quite a bit of distance in my that little hop step or pivot step, whatever you want to call it, and that causes a problem with the timing in the swing and the slide, and that's one of the reasons why I'm falling off on my shots a lot. So I've been working on trying to shorten the distance in my steps and in that hop step. See what I mean? Luckily, I got it, but still, I was getting a little frustrated of like that I kept like falling off. But I didn't know it at like in that moment that it's my footwork and my footwork is causing problems with my swing, and then that's causing me to fall off. Like when I am sliding, I'm still kind of like in the swing, I guess. You know what I mean? No, sorry, that's the other way around. When I'm in the swing, I'm still sliding, and that's wrong. I should be done sliding by the time I'm going to release the ball. That's the way it should be. But because I put so much distance in my steps and in that hop step, it causes me to still be sliding while I'm still in the swing, and that's not the way it should be. The footwork needs to be a little quicker when the distance is shorter. So it's slide, stop, and then let go. That's the way it should be. But I had it all wrong here, and that's why I was like just terrible here. Watch, I think you're gonna see it again right here. Yep, look at that. See that? Me thinking to myself that it's the shoe or the freaking floor. Yeah, right. Come on, Frank. It's you. It's not the freaking lanes. She didn't get that 9-pin to fall. How I managed the back 6 right there after like all that terrible falling off and all that, I don't know. A strike is a strike, as they say. So he's still kind of like that little hop right there. I don't know. Timing was terrible, but still managed to strike somehow. Thank God for the flux, I guess. Yeah, Max's swing is very much similar to what I used to do. If you take a look at like my past videos, you'll see I shove the ball way up here and then just, I don't know. That's crazy. He makes it work for him. It never worked for me. See, I keep it more to the hip now. And there you go. Back 8. Perfect. Finishing off with the 248 while Ebony finishes with a very good 236. Very big improvement over game 1. Meanwhile, Max went in the opposite direction and finished with the high game, going down to a 199. Or en route to a 199. I don't know what he gets in this last shot here, but... Oh, someone missed a 10 pin on 13. Huh. Messed up on his fall too. But he got it. Just like me. Fell off on the shot. Still got it. So he gets 199. Ebony with 236. Me 248 to finish off game number 2. Very nice. And here goes game 3 on the last pair before we move to the other end of the building, 13 and 14. So yeah, I guess I was right on that. We only ended up using 14 lanes here. So yeah, I think like exactly 20 people ended up showing up to this thing. So yeah, very low amount for a tournament. Ah, didn't pick up the 10. Yeah, I got 9 spare to start it off, but you didn't see that because unfortunately I forgot. Uh, I guess I forgot to turn on the camera for that. It's very difficult to keep, uh, to be paying attention to the camera while you're bowling. It ain't easy. And I guess that's why a lot of YouTubers these days have people doing the camera work and the editing for them. I don't. I'm doing it all myself, or at least I'm trying. Yeah, she still continues with the Axiom Pearl. You can see she kind of messed up there. And pays for it with the split. Axiom Pearl, man, what a ball. It's a shame they discontinued it. Luckily, I still got mine. And I got another one in the closet undrilled. I'll save that one for God knows when. But I know what layout I'm going to put on it. Still going with the flux. And look at that right there. Went high, left a split. So at this point, I think I remember I was thinking to myself, okay, the ball went high, I left a split. I think I might have to either make a ball change or move further left. What impresses me is that this kid, that he only packed, I'm pretty sure he packed more, but I didn't see what he brought. But as far as I know, all I ever saw was that phase 3. He had a pitch black and a spare ball. That's it. And he was just going off on the main stage with just that phase 3. And then she makes a ball change to a pro motion. Great to see that ball again. Light hit with the 10 pin. And then I think right here, I'm telling myself, all right, I'm going to see what happens on this shot, and this is going to help me determine what to do next. Always watch your ball, folks. Watch how it hits the pins, and watch what ends up happening. That'll help you figure out what to do next. If you need to make a change, if you need to, like a ball change or make an adjustment or something. From that, okay, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this happened again. I think it's time to make a ball change. And I think I thought to myself, instead of adjusting, make a ball change, because obviously I've used the flux so many times off camera, and I've tried moving left with the ball when the lanes dry up a little, or lane because I only practice on one, and the ball doesn't really, I want to say, doesn't really have enough energy to get back around the corner if I move left from where I'm standing. Like on right here, I think I'm on board 21 from game 1 all the way to right now, and when I try to move further left, it just, I get light hits. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's pick up another ball or something. I don't know, yeah, I don't know why I picked up the flux here. I guess I wanted to be 100% sure at this point. Okay, I think I moved a board or two left right here. Yeah, I aimed for the right. Yeah, you see, it peeled off the spot a little more. So I thought, okay, this, I think at this point is where I thought, okay, ball change, for sure. Yeah, because I remember now, yeah, I did move a little bit more left than where I was standing on this lane in the previous shot. Going straight at it with the spare ball, very nice. Now I could have hooked at my spare, obviously, just to make it easy, but I chose to pick up my spare ball here, even though I will admit to you right here, right now, in that moment, I was like, I don't know. Even though I know exactly what to do, I know where to stand, I know exactly where to send the ball, I felt a little nervous. I was guessing to myself, basically, like, am I going to pick it up? Am I not? And the reason I chose to get my spare ball for this is because I need to know how to pick up spares in these type of, when I'm feeling this type of way, like, like, damn, pressure's really on, that I need to be able to keep that nervousness suppressed when I'm picking up a spare. So I guess that was practicing that part for me. So I need to know how to pick up spares in this kind of environment, because I can do it easily in practice, but when it comes to this, it's just a totally different feel, and I need to know what it's like to do that. And for some stupid reason, I still tried to pick up the flux, but I guess maybe that's because, like, remember, two different lanes, the way they're both going to break down differently. They're not going to break down the same way. So I thought maybe I could still use the flux on this lane, but after that, I told myself, okay, not going to work. As much as I wanted to throw a backup ball, I chose not to. So I just hooked at it and went for the 2. Because and if any of you if any of you have seen, anytime I left the 2-8-10, I would try to like backup ball at it and try to get the 2, kind of like that one guy did, like some time ago, like on the lanes next to us. But I just chose not to do it here. There goes that Axiom Pearl again. 7. She, in a way, is kind of taking the right approach to this. I mean, the Axiom Pearl is a pearl cover. It's going to get further down there. Retains its energy really well. And there's my ball change right there, the nuclear cell. But I will say I had a little bit of a problem here. The hole for the middle finger was a little bit too big, but I had that done for a reason, and that's because usually I tape up my middle finger, because my middle finger is the one that takes most of the hit when I release the ball, and I lose pieces of skin. But that only happens when I play an insane amount of games, and I chose not to tape up my middle finger here because, my finger does not start losing skin after, 8 games, Man, Max with the freaking 6 in a row? I didn't even notice that. So yeah, I chose to use the nuclear cell with no tape on my middle finger, because with tape on my middle finger, the hole for the middle finger fits perfectly. I like to go midway in between the first and second creases of my fingers, and without the tape, the middle finger hole goes almost to the second crease. So. Yeah, unfortunately, because of that, I still managed it quite well there. But the problem I was having was that the ball, it felt like it was just, falling off of my hand, like if I had like conventional on it or something. Ooh, nice hit there. Now he's got 7. But yeah, the ball felt like it would, like, I will also say that my hand was feeling kind of sweaty even after I would air it off on the thing right there without, like on the ball return. My hand would get sweaty almost immediately. So, yeah, the ball was it felt like it was just slipping off my hand, and I wasn't able to really get a good release on it, which kind of sucked because, the nuclear cell is my number 1 ball, even though I didn't pick it up from the get-go. That was a good one, but unfortunately you can't see it because Max got in the way. But there you go, another strike, 10 back. Trying to keep myself alive since my Max is already down at 212. Going for 8, and he gets it. Luckily something came out and took that 10. Ho ho, nice. Looked like it was going really high, but luckily that it hit the pocket just right. Yeah, there you go. You see what I mean? I was lucky that that ball didn't go into the gutter. Yeah, you could see, like, Jesus, thing is just falling off my hand. I was very lucky that the ball recovered. It would have been worse if it had gone in the gutter. Ah, man. I bet now he knows how I felt about the whole 9-pin thing, because I'm pretty certain that I was met with the 9-pin twice already in this. Meanwhile, here's that. I don't even know what that is. Look at that. Oh, man. 2 for 2 on picking up tough spares, I guess. Yeah, unfortunately, the camera took a little bit of a knock and it knocked it off its thing there. Luckily, like, it wasn't too bad. I can't believe I didn't notice that. So yeah, I think for the remainder of the 10th frame, you're going to have to see it like this. So yeah, this entire tournament, there were no 300s, and that was one of the many attempts. I was looking around, and I was seeing a lot of people were like on the front 8, the front 9, a lot of 279s, I think. I don't know. Let me actually have a look here. Not trying to spoil anything here. Let me see here. Yeah, lots of 279s, 278s, 266, 277. Yeah, 260. Yeah, quite a bit of people tried to make a run for it, but yeah, no perfect games. Of course, Max was one of them with that 279. Well, on track to a 279. Yep, there it went again, falling off my hand because the hole for the middle finger was too big. But then again, it has to be that way for me because my fingers swell up when I bowl. So, yeah. Boy, was I very glad I was able to pick up my spares without hooking at them. And so goes that 279. So yeah, me and Ebony tied at 178. Really, really bad. That is unacceptable for the skill level of which we are at. That's mediocre. So yeah, Max really taking advantage of that. Yeah, now his max is down to 266. Yeah, he messed up on that one, but luckily it came back. You could see in his body language there, he's like, you know, walked away from it. But yeah, he finished with a really nice 266. Alright, so the last game of this part. So this is where things got really, really challenging. I used to think that, you know, that thing about lane topography was a bunch of BS, but no, it's real. It's very real. And I don't know what the heck everybody who was on this pair were using, But whatever it was, man, they toasted up these lanes real good. So yeah, this is where a combination of lane topography and what people use come into play. And you're going to see it right here. And this is where Ebony had the advantage because of her low rev rate and her playing those really straight angles. So knowing what happened with the nuclear cell and the flux, I decided, okay, no more of the high-end bowling balls. It's time to go to the lower stuff. So I picked up a hustle wrap, and you guys just saw what happened there. I kind of made a bad shot, but I still managed to get some kind of idea off of that. So you're going to see. You are going to see. So yeah, Max making no changes whatsoever, still using the phase 3. And you could see there he made a bad shot, but he was like, nah, whatever, I'll take it. There goes Ebony with an Axiom Pearl yet again. Look at that, it rolled a little too much. In my mind, I wouldn't even be nervous about the 3.6, 7.10 because you guys know me. I pick that up quite a lot, like it's easy. So yeah, hustle wrap working really, really nicely on that right lane, but the left lane was, oh my god. Yeah, unfortunately, she lost count there. Alright, check this. Look at that. Look at that. You see that? The ball didn't even want to go to the right. It stayed there. We knew, like, instantly that there was a dry spot right there. So, based on what Max did the next time he was on this left lane, both he and I, because I watched that shot. Usually I don't really pay attention to what the others are doing, but he and I both were looking at that and we're like, okay, something definitely has to change here. So what I did was I continued using the hustle wrap, but I moved big time to the left, and look at this. Look at that. Didn't even want to get right. There was that dry patch there that forced the ball like to just like stay there and just, and then of course there's that 9-pin, and then Ebony, after what happened with Axiom Pearl in the left lane, also made a ball change, and she switched to the IQ Tornado Pearl, a much weaker ball, like I would say a step down from the Axiom Pearl. And yeah, I mean the right lane wasn't as toasted as the left, but I knew because of that picking up spares was going to be a challenge as well, because you could see, did you see that right there? Even the spare ball just kind of curved a little more than usual, so I knew I was going to like have to move a couple boards from where I normally stand when picking up certain spares. For example, that what was that, the 9? I usually stand on, I would say, board 10. I knew I would have to go maybe like to 14 or 15, so it was going to be a challenge. There goes that IQ Tornado Pearl. Went high, but something kicked out the 4. Now she's got 2. You see that? Did you see his spare ball? It didn't even curve. That's how you know this right lane is still got something on it. And then I think this is where Max makes his ball change after what happened with the phase 3. Yeah, look at that. That's the pitch black right there. Whew, the luck. You could see he's like, Jesus. My God. And this, folks, is why you should always pack a urethane ball. You never know when you're going to need it. Remember, it doesn't absorb oil, it moves it. And it holds a whole hell of a lot better than a pearl or pearl solid or hybrid. So yeah, there I go, leaving the 36910 again. In my mind, I'm thinking, no, I don't want to see that spare again. After what happened the first time. And because these lanes were a little toasted, I figured it was going to be much tougher. That was a lot better than the last time. At least I got something on it. Yeah, I surprisingly wasn't like feeling too nervous about this one because I knew, okay, this is where the real big breakdown starts, and like this is where that right side of the lane is really going to start to be dry. Based on what I had experienced in the last event, I knew now, okay, don't do what you did last time. You know what to do now, so you should do a lot better. So I wasn't feeling too nervous this time. But yeah, then I picked up my pitch black. I knew I was going to need it for this. Unfortunately, I dropped it there. And I left another 9-pin. And I will admit right here that I hadn't practiced using my pitch black. It's actually been months, and I mean many, many months since I last picked up the pitch black. And yeah, unfortunately, yeah, Max picking up his pitch black there, and seeing what happened there, he was like, okay, I'm going back to the phase 3. It didn't even want to come back around the corner. Yeah, I mean, it felt awkward picking up that pitch black, like in that one shot that I just took. I'm like, dude, this is going to be weird. I haven't practiced with urethane in months, you know? But all I could do was just keep a cool head and try to aim, you know, for the target of which I try to normally aim at. That's all I could do. And it was after this that I thought, okay, I got to start practicing with urethane again. I got to start practicing these straighter angles again. The advantage that she has. Wow. She's handling that breakdown really, really well in that left lane. But yeah, you guys are clearly going to see my lack of practice with urethane in this one game alone. So yeah, what you're seeing here is pitch black on the left and hustle wrap on the right. Yeah, there goes the hustle wrap right there. Very nice. There goes that pitch black. See, like you could see, he's like, Jesus, what do I got to do here? You know? That dry patch right there on that right side, that like further down, it just made it so difficult.
It's like totally fried right there.
I'd say, for me at least, I'd probably move at least 2 or 3 quarters.
Alright, so the strike streak ends at 4 in a row for Ebony. Going into the 7th, now she has a split to deal with. Meanwhile, here I am with the pitch black again. I made a couple, like, I made a move to the left a little bit. Look at that. You see that? My goodness. Ooh, nice pickup there. Everybody's picking up their splits today, I guess. If I'm not mistaken, at least all of us picked up at least one split in this event, so that was nice to see. Yeah, I was real stunned. I was not prepared for that. Like to have to be so far left with a pitch black because of that little dry patch, but I was gonna have to do it. Look at that baby split. Ouch. I'm so used to playing up like I would say up the second arrow with the pitch black, but for this, I think if I'm not mistaken, I told myself like after what that happened on that shot, I was going to have to be like on 23, 24 with the pitch black, and that had me like, dude, I don't know if I could do this. That's so weird. And I knew at this moment, like for that left lane, it was going to be either the pitch black or nothing because, everything else that I had in the bag was just too much for that left lane. The phase 2, nuclear self, lux. I was going to have to be very left if I was going to even try. I mean, look at this. Unbelievable. How left is he? Even with the higher speed and rev rate, it's unbelievable because you got, obviously my rev rate and speed in comparison is not that much. That's through the nose. Yeah. So yeah, I moved a little bit more to the left this time. You could see, look at that. I sent it to the right and look at this. Unbelievable. At this point, I think I was telling myself like, okay, just try your best to make it to the pocket. Anything you leave, just try to pick it up. Yeah, I guess Max did not pick up his phase 3, and then skinny jeans. Yeah, right. That split second right there where I lifted up my hands, I thought, did I just miss this? But no, luckily I made it. Oh man, 7 pin. How many of those has he had already? The advantage of a low rev rate. Luckily, I did not have to finish on that left lane. I knew like I could salvage this a little bit and keep it at 195 max because I knew what I had to do here on this right lane. It was obviously a lot easier. That was way right, but thanks to it being kind of a little bit dry right there in that same area like the left lane, the ball would come back. Oh, get those hits, I guess. Shoot. That was such a light hit, but she got them all to fall. I guess that thing is true. Increased axis tilt increases pin action. I thought that was BS, but apparently, I guess it's true. Trying to repeat the shot. Yeah, I thought that was a close call. You could see there, I put my hands on my head and was like, uh-oh. Well, she struck out for 220. And I gotta say, not bad. 195 on a really messed up pair. It could have been a lot worse. So I gotta say, not bad. It could have been better. But, I'm glad I was able to somewhat handle it. There you go, striking out for 195. Very nice. But yeah, if you look at my score right there, the entire thing from 1 to 10, none of those strikes were on the left lane. All were on the right lane, I think. So yeah, not bad. We all handled it pretty well. We got through it. So anyway, that pretty much covers it as Max closes out the 10th frame with a strike with the phase 3. Very crazy. But yeah, that covers part 1. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll be putting part 2 together. It's going to be quite an amount of work, but I will get that done, and I will get that out to you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing else to say other than that's part 1. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in part 2 real soon.